Hey everyone, it's day 60 something, but I know tomorrow will be 3 weeks from surgery. 3 weeks after I had my surgery. I've been in a lot of pain the past couple of days, and the Tylenol is just not too much. So yesterday I had called the plastic surgeon's office. I think I called, however I communicated with them. And I told them, or asked what to do. Because I'm I don't need to be on Oxy, but I'm the Tylenol is nothing. And I'm just uncomfortable. So when they called today, they called me back after OT was over. And I learned some good things from OT, which I'm not going to be using because now they're stopping my OT. But what I will say about the OT real quick, just helpful hints. My microwave is above my stove, so it's hard to reach. I can get stuff in, but taking stuff out, especially bowls, is hard. So I mentioned a step stool or something. Sorry, my neck is still stiff. My neck isn't really stiff. I slept really well yesterday, but I fell asleep right away. So I didn't have a chance to adjust my pillows. And when I woke up, my neck hurt. And then I had a headache. So I started making coffee because usually the caffeine helps when I have a headache. And then it was I was just rushing because the OT guy was coming at 9. And then I never had a chance to finish even drinking this stupid coffee. Because as soon as OT was over, that was when the nurse called and she wanted me to get in there right away. So she's like, can you come? I'm like, when? And she's like, as soon as you can. And I called my friend. She's like, I can pick you up now. So it was just rush. Anyway, it was 6 hours later, I finally finished the coffee. And my headache's only slightly gone away. Anyway, so OT, I told him about the microwave stuff. And I'm like, I just want to make oatmeal and it's a production. So I mentioned about a step stool, and I said, is that a dumb idea? Because I don't feel dizzy or anything, but I don't know if it's stupid to consider a step stool. Because what if I slip off or something? Which I don't think I would. But he mentioned something with a wider base. And then he asked if I did step classes, back in the day, whatever. Those steps are huge. But I do have friends that have taught those classes. So I wonder if I can ask one of them just to borrow one of those steps. Because they have a huge base on them. My kitchen's not very big. I feel like the step would take up a lot of the base. I don't know what to use as a solution to that. But the gist is he doesn't want me reaching up like that to get to stuff in the microwave. And I don't have a counter space to have another microwave on my counter. But right now a microwave is something that's critical to have and to use. I'll get to figure that out. What it did mention to me was we were talking about laundry. And fast forward, when I went to the doctor today, the nurse told me she does not want me doing laundry. She does not want me doing dishes. She doesn't want me to reach to unload a dishwasher, or even to grab a plate out or put into the dishwasher. She wants me to go in a timeout right now and just stop, hard stop. And then just rest for 2 weeks. It's I'm on bed rest from being on bed rest. I'm doing too much, she said. So anyway, I'll tell you the OT stuff, but I'm not doing them right now because I'm in a timeout. A grabber was the other thing that he said. Because I said, my laundry bin, I could throw stuff in my laundry. And I'm like, but taking it out is a pretty far reach. And every time I reach forward, it feels like I have 2 anvils on my chest. So what the hell am I supposed to do? So he mentioned about one of those grabbers, you squeeze them and then they have a claw on the one end. And he said you don't have to buy it. excuse me, he said to reach out to the Council on Aging because I'm aging. But that's not why, because like the Council on Aging tends to have things that people need on a short-term basis. And I know the woman who runs the Council on Aging in town. So my to-dos, not today. Probably not even until like Monday or Tuesday, since I'm on my timeout. Is to reach out to the Council on Aging and see if I can get one of those grabbers. And they might even have some sort of step stool thing I could stand on that's more grippy than like a regular step stool. Because my kitchen is tiled, so if I step on a regular step stool, if it slips, I'm screwed. The other thing he had me try today was touching the top of my head without moving my neck. I'm like, are you smoking crack? I can't touch the top of my head. And he's like, I want you to try and see how far you can go. Even if it hurts. Like, not bad hurts, but like, see how far you can go. And he'll tell me to stop based on, my expression on my face. So I was able to touch the top of my head extremely slowly, but it was a lot. And honestly, I can't even tell you the rest of the stuff that he said. I just don't remember because it's been like a whirlwind since I got back from the doctor's office. So he left. And a friend of mine picked me up to go to the doctor's office. And again, this pandemic thing, somebody said to me, like, it's one thing that you have a double mastectomy. You get like 100 extra points because you're a single, or I guess you get 100 extra points for being single, going through all this. And then you get an extra 100 points for having kids and going through all this. I think it was him who said, like, it'd be a whole different story for me if I was, like, happily married with a very involved, husband and father and had 7 children, one for each day of the week, so that you're not putting too much on each kid. And I'm like, nope, no 7 kids. He said it'd be easier if you had that. You'd have, like, excuse me, you'd have, like, your Monday child and your Tuesday child, and every day would be a different person to help you. And then, your loving, helpful husband would be there to do all the other stuff that the kids aren't doing for each day of the week. But not my life right now. Well, I'm not having 7 kids, but not my life. And I know I'm not the only single parent out there. And I think it actually works to my advantage that as a single mom, I have, my son is 17. It's not like he's 5 or 2, that he needs me in, a basic needs kind of way. I'm grateful that my son's 17, that when he came home from school, he could, like, rearrange my pillows because he's very smart to figure out, like, what's going to work for me to be at the right angle. It's a good thing he's a math person. But then he had a scoot, and I won't see him until, well, I guess that's a pro and con to having older kids because they're doing their own thing. They have their own commitments and stuff. But because of the season right now, he won't be home till like after 9 today. Anywho. But he did pack in a lot of stuff, so I'm so grateful for him. And, like, the little things that aren't so little. Like when I say I need a hard pillow or a firm one, he knows to get the striped one. And if I need a mushy one, he knows to get the green one. And, like, I have enough water here that I don't have to get up. Anyway, so I went to the doctor's office, talked to the nurse. Her name is Jen, too, so that's easy to remember. And I liked her a lot. And it was supposed to be a 15-minute appointment with the main goal of getting me in a comfortable bra. Because, I've been wearing the ones that they give you for the drains. They're great for like 3 days or so, maybe 4. And they started to get pulled. And then, well, obviously when you have the drains on them, but, even when it's off, it starts to get pulled and stretched. It's, those bras are not meant for long term. And then the middle of Velcro part just seems like cardboard. It's just not comfortable. And you know, you're going online and it's like, well, what the heck bra size you're supposed to wear? I don't know. You know, I can't read science. Like, I don't read science words to know if they put a 560cc implant in me, what the hell does that mean for my bra size? I have absolutely no idea. And I found out today that most of the stuff that I thought was my implant is actually swelling and not even my implant, which is super interesting to me. In a good and bad way. Because I don't like that they're swelling. But it makes you more forgiving of myself that they're swelling. That means I need time to heal. And one of the biggest pieces of advice that the nurse gave me today was like, you can take in what everyone has to say to you. It's like parenting. You know, you can take in what everyone has to say to you about advice or what they've gone through, even breast cancer survivors. But the reality is, like, your journey is your journey. Your body is not theirs. And I'll give you the download. I'll move text over to to explain to you what she told me, which is part of the reason why I didn't Google stuff beforehand. Like, part of me is so curious to watch 6.5 hours straight of exactly what it looks like when they're doing surgery. And maybe in another year, I'll be able to do that. But today, while we were talking about pain, and I explained to her all the pieces that hurt, and she brought up stuff that I even forgot that hurt. And some of it's not necessarily hurt. It's just like my nerves are on fire. Like my armpits are just out of control. And I said to her, like, you know, I'm usually, like today's cooler outside. I'm so annoyed of how many times I've worn this shirt. It's super comfy. But I'm like, I just want more than one button-down shirt that's long sleeve to wear. And I go to it because it's my comfy, soft shirt. But then when I put my pants on that match these, I'm like, oh crap, this is what I wore the exact outfit last time I went to see the plastic surgeon. Not that it matters, but it matters to me because I'm like, you know, I don't want to wear the same crap over and over again. Not for anybody else, but for me. It's like I want to have more than one shirt to choose from, but I don't want to sit here spending money or even having a whole stockpile of stuff because I'm hoping not to have to need it. But the reality is, like, I am going to end up needing it. And buttons are nice over the hoodies. Like, the hoodies are fine, but they're zippers. And you need something to wear underneath it. Like this, I don't need to have something to wear underneath it. Anyway. So, she fit me for a bra. She tried a few of them. And I was floored. Not really floored, just like, really? The bra that ended up fitting me was a 4XL. A 4XL. Even the one that they put me in when they left the hospital was a 2XL. A 4XL seems so big, but, and like even that, like my boobs are like crushed together, right? Not crushed together, but they're together. Like I actually have almost cleavage right now. But they're swelling and stuff. I mean, I have a wide back anyway, but like not if you're going through this and they're like, you know, you need a whatever size and you're used to being like 3 sizes smaller than that or something. You know, don't bug out so much. It is what it is. So she looked at everything on there. And I said to her, you know, last time that I was in to see the plastic surgeon, that I wasn't expecting to have my drains taken out. So all of my questions kind of went out the door. And I loved that, like, even though it was supposed to be 15 minutes of me in and out getting bras and then leaving, she answered all of my questions. And I said, I feel like I'm being bounced around. I don't even know who my contact person even is anymore. And she said it's her. Which makes life easy. Because, like, who do you rely on? Jen. Shocking, but it's just the other Jen. So I'm dilly-dallying going through this. I'm going to move text for a minute. I'm not showing you my bra. It's not an attractive bra. It's like a white sports bra kind of thing. It has Velcro on top, which is not my biggest fan of kind of bra, but whatever. She gave me this one. She tried on several of them before this one actually worked. And she gave me 2 more to take home. I don't like that it's white because you can see the scar through the material because it's white. But at this point, I don't really care. I do care, but like right now, it's more about comfort and sleeping and non-pain than it is about dealing with the fact that I have scars. And even when she saw my boobs, she smiled too. It's like everyone in the medical world thinks that my boobs are so beautiful. And I look at them and I'm like, they are freaks of nature. And I'm not saying that to be hard on myself. I'm saying that because like, they're not my boobs. And I'm so not at acceptance that these are mine. I said to her, like, people know me for being like authentic and true and like I don't lie about stuff. And like I went almost 18, 19, 20, 20. I went almost 3 years without saying any lie at all. And then I stretched the truth once about something, and I'm like, oh, that's the first time I've quasi-lied in 3 years. You know how hard it is to, like, not lie at all in 3 years? Like, you'll say something, and then if you use the wrong word to embellish something, it's like, it's not true. I can't even think of all the stages of acceptance right now. Denial? Isn't denial one of them? I don't deny that they're there. They're not part of me. They're inside of me. They're not me. They're these foreign, like, circles of gunk that just happen to be sewn inside of me. And she said that she's actually the one who does the tattooing. And she's like, once you have the nipples, like the areolas tattooed on, she's like, you're going to look at these things and think that they look absolutely gorgeous. And I'm like, yeah, but that's going to be a long time from now. And in the meantime, they're just these things that are causing drama. The crazy thing is, I hate them more than I hated the tumor, which makes no sense. It makes no sense. I should hate the tumor because that's what like destroys your body. But like it was there and I didn't know it was there because I couldn't feel it. These I know are here and I can feel them. And they're not hurting my body. But I hate that they're there. I hate that they're there. And I would never consider getting rid of them either. Because I believe them that like in a year they'll be spectacular. They can see that because they've been doing this for years. I just don't see it. I'm not at that place. But what she said, she just kept reminding me about, this is a major surgery. I've heard that so many times. This is a major surgery. It's a major surgery. She's like, I don't think you understand how much of a major surgery this is. And I said, like, I don't really understand. I've never had a double mastectomy before. I don't understand. I'm like, I don't really even get what exactly was done to me. I'm like, I don't get what's inside of me. I don't get what's causing my pain. I don't get why my armpits hurt so much. I don't get why every hair under my armpit feels like a pile of ants just crawling all over me. I don't get it. And they're so good there because they're so nurturing. And I don't lose my shit there like I'm doing right now because they're so used to hearing this that they know how to talk to you and how to look at you. To have you be calm. And I said, I'm ready to find out why. I'm ready to find out what you did to me. And why my hurts hurt. So I went through each area and told her what was bothering me the most. And when she tried the bra on first, and I looked in the mirror, it was bunching a little bit by my armpits, and I said, that's probably going to irritate me. But all I see when I look at that is my hairy armpit. It's not like some big bush, but it's the fact that it doesn't look like me. Just like this doesn't look like me. And she said, you know, if you're very, very careful, you can shave it. And she said I can also use deodorant. Not like hard wiping, like just really gently. Because yes, it does impact, you know, me to have to smell like underarm odor. It's gross. And it's not me. Like, I'm the kind of person that puts hand cream on like a ton. Because I like how it smells and I like to have moisturized hands. And for me to like have an armpit that smells like fucking, oh, sorry, that smells like body odor, like it bothers me. It makes you not want to be around people aside from the fact that it's a pandemic. All right, I'm dilly-dallying. So, here's your body. She said, you have to understand, and I get the cameras and go that far down, but I can't adjust it because I just can't move like that right now. She's like, your surgery starts really up here. Up here is where, here. Up here is where it starts to go numb. Not numb, but I can feel swelling or whatever it is. It starts all the way up here. Which, like, here's my collarbone. So, like, it's not that far down. It starts up here. And she's like, they only make 2 incisions. Because I asked her, I'm like, is there an incision by my armpit? And that's why it hurts. Is that how they take the lymph nodes out? I don't know. And she said, no, the only incisions on my body are literally the 2 that are on my breast that I can see. But the reason why it's up so high is because they have to get to your lymph nodes, which I can't lift my arm that high, but your lymph nodes are under here. So like, take your armpit, you go over, and it's probably a good inch above that of where I start to feel numb or swelling. And picture this. I can't even like, So picture this, for those of you that have boobs or men who have chests, whatever. Think of a line across your boob or your pectoral muscle or whatever. And then lift it open. And in they go. In they go. Those are the only 2 cuts they make. 1, 2. And in they go. And they remove your lymph nodes through that same slit. That's a lot of pulling. And that pulling is part of why, like, your nerves. By nerves, I don't mean nervous. I mean, like, nerves, like, the actual nerves are cut. There's a lot of cutting going on. And they go up through that thing and go here and remove the lymph nodes. And they scrape stuff out. They scraped out, 618 grams of breast tissue. I don't know if that's exactly the same on both sides, but I know that was one of them, and my boobs are pretty much the same. 618 grams of breast tissue. Not total, each. I think, yeah, each. And they scrape it out. So, like, I picture, like, did you ever go to, like, Cold Stone Creamery, and they have those scoops like for the ice cream, which are different from like regular scoops. So I picture that, and then just going in and just scooping it out. Like, that's a lot of breast tissue. That's a lot of tissue. It's not about breast, that's a lot of tissue. They're scraping out all of the insides of you, from all the way up here down to like the top of, I don't know even know what that is, your sternum. It's not it doesn't just end at your boob, it goes a little bit beneath that. So it's like half your torso is scraped out. And yeah, they go in there, and they also, by the way, pull some lymph nodes out. Some of them were under my armpit. Some of them were down, like beneath my boob. It's a lot. So that sucker up. Go to the next one. You know, slice it open. Go all the way up in here. And that makes sense to me now. Why your hands are out. Why your hands are out like a T. Because they have to be able to get up there. And that makes sense, because when the surgery was over and they were telling me to eat dinner, and I'm like, surprisingly, I was not able to even do this with my arm. And I'm like, why can't I bend my elbow? What does my elbow have to do with anything? It didn't make any sense to me. But that's why. Everything is impacted, and your nerves, you know, they're taking all this stuff and they're ripping it apart, and they're taking stuff out of your body. And then your body is doing its thing to put it all together again. But if you're pushing too hard, and I didn't think I was pushing too hard. I was listening to what people were saying. It's just that there's so many people that are involved and care. And they all say something slightly different. And, you know, the best advice that I heard was, you know, your body will tell you when it's too much. And I remember, this is why the blogs are so handy, and maybe good that I'm like a week behind at this point with posting these up on YouTube, because when I'm rewatching them and I'm listening to what happened before, you know, that my body will tell me what's going on. My body will tell me how I'm healing. And when my body I remember when I was like complaining about the oxy and running out and stuff, and I wanted more oxy, it wasn't about that. When I slowed things down, I didn't need the oxy anymore. It wasn't a matter of the meds. It was a matter I was doing too much, and my body was telling me to stop. It's just over and over again, like slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. So, yeah, and then she's like, you know, they go in, they sew you shut, you have your stitches. The purple line that's on my right side, it's healing pretty well. I mean, there are spots where the stitches are out. It's flesh colored, which, oh my God, this morning when I woke up and I saw a flesh color on my scar, I was like, oh, like the heavens opened up. Because I'm like, I don't have this nasty ass, like, freaking scar. It looked like normal, like, okay, you know, it's like Play-Doh. You know, you form a boob out of Play-Doh. It has a line on it. You know, smudge out the line a little bit, and then you're ready to put the nipple on or the areola. And it looked like, you know, it was regular color. And I was so excited. My left side is not like that. And the left side is not the one that had my left side had no cancer in it. So I don't really know why it's not healing at the same rate as my right side, but I don't know. I would think it would be the opposite, because I'm a righty. I would think that the right side would be more irritated because I use that side more. Who knows? Anyway. But the left side, I have this purple line still where the stitches are. And I thought that was just like a purple marker, you know, where they mark you where to cut, whatever. Because before I went to surgery, she had a pen, and they always ask me first, which is, you know, I mean, they need to mark you, but she asked me first. She's like, is it okay if I write on you? And I'm like, yeah, please. Draw out your map of what you need to do. Go for it. And she did that. And I could still see some of those marks. And I thought the purple was part of that. It turns out the purple is actually adhesive, which I didn't know. So I thought the purple would just come off as I'm showering. And she said, no, the purple's actually adhesive. And like in between my boobs, on the left side, um, like one part is a stitch because it pokes out and I can feel it, but it feels like there's something hard there. Not that it's my skin, that it's something else. And she's like, yeah, that's the same stuff. It's all part of the surgical tape. I thought the surgical tape was all gone. I thought that when he pulled off the tape with my, when he took the drain out, I thought that any tape that was there was pulled off with it. But I guess there's two kinds of tapes. And the actual like surgical tape is still on there on the left. The right side is pretty much all gone. So she's like, don't try to do anything with it. Like, leave it alone. It's meant to dissolve on its own. You know, as you shower, whatever stuff will come off, and that's fine, but leave it alone. Like, let it be. And the other thing I said to her was, on the right side, I said, I feel like my implant's like either like slipping to the left, like under my armpit, or like it's like here's the implant and like this side's going just moving over a little bit, whatever. And she said that's not the implant at all. She felt my boob, which is the first time someone's like manipulated my breasts. Oh, I said my breasts, so maybe I am at some sort of stage of acceptance. Well, it still is my skin. Anyway, she just pushed it over slightly, and it didn't hurt. It just felt a little weird. Because like I said, it's like mostly numb. It just felt weird. And when she did that, she said, what you're feeling is not the implant. She goes, that's all swelling. Because if you look at my boobs from head on, my left boob looks bigger than my right, which I know is normal for most people. But if you've had implants, I would think that it would be symmetric. But she said they are perfectly symmetric. It's just that your left side's more swollen. Why? I don't know. But the key is I have a lot of swelling going on. And the only way for that really to go away at this point is to just rest and do my time out. She said it's okay to do the neck rolls, the neck circles. It's okay to do the shoulders up and down. She does not want me doing those exercises with my fingers, which I can't even remember if I videotaped or not. Where you're walking your fingers up a wall. She's like, you have to stop. She's like, you're not ready for that. So 2 weeks, she said, you need to give your body a break for 2 weeks. Stop doing that. And she said PT needs to, she said that they don't usually start PT until 6 weeks out of surgery. And I'm just barely at 3. Like I said, 3 will be tomorrow. So she said PT needs to stop. OT needs to stop. She's like, you should not be thinking about laundry. She's like, you shouldn't be thinking about strengthening right now. She's like, your body is still healing. And while on the outside, you can visually see it healing, she's like, it goes like to the cellular level. And that's the stuff I can't see, which brings me back to faith. And again, I'm not being God squatty. I'm being like, you know, you can't see those cells and what they're doing, but their way of rebelling against what I'm doing that is too much for them is the swelling, is the pain, is all of that. If I allowed my body to, you know, be at the pace it needs to be at, I wouldn't have the swelling and I wouldn't have the pain. Right now, I'm 600 milligrams of Motrin in, which packs a punch because I'm not taking Motrin in 4 years. And, the gabapentin, they started me back on the gabapentin for 2 weeks. The gabapentin directly affects the nerves. So like all the twinges, I don't really have that stabbing pain anymore, but like, most of the pains that I'm having, the way I describe them to her, are because of the nerves being, you know, basically severed and needing to get built back together again. Ugh, so uncomfortable. I just can't get comfortable. And that just takes time. But it was good to know, like, to understand what was done. And also, like the bottom, I said at the base of my boob, I said it's so heavy. It's crazy heavy, which I'm like, I don't get how it's so heavy when my boobs before were actually bigger than the ones I have now. So why is it so heavy? And she was explaining to me about Alloderm, which they all seem so like fascinated by Alloderm, and I don't think Alloderm is FDA approved yet. Um, I get because of COVID that, to get FDA approval is a very large process because obviously there's millions, if not more, I don't know, of people in the world that are getting their COVID vaccines. But it takes like so long to get FDA approved that the COVID vaccine clearly was not FDA approved, but we need people to like stop dying, which is why they had this emergency, whatever, to be able to get it out to give to people. Alloderm, from my understanding, like germ skin, I picture it as being something that's hard because it feels hard. I said it feels like there's like, like those things that you put around your face when you're trying to get a tan or whatever, those silvery things. It feels like that's what's underneath my boob. And then there's an implant sitting on top of it that weighs like 10 pounds each. That's what it feels like. And she said that's the same thing. The stuff on the bottom that I'm feeling is not the implant. It's all swelling. She said the implant, I mean, I felt the implant, and that's not what it felt like. She's like, your body just needs time, and for whatever reason, like it's needing more time than what they can see from the outside to heal. So the Alloderm and again, I'm not a doctor, don't quote me on any of this stuff, but from what I'm understanding, the Alloderm adheres to your skin, which then adheres on the other side to the implant. Oh, this pillow is so hard. Like that's my soft, squishy pillow, but I don't have the energy to move it where it needs to be. This is why I need 7 kids. I'm not having 7 kids. I need elves. Like those little elves. I need elves. I need dwarfs. That's what I need. The 7 dwarfs. People would say I look like Snow White when my hair was darker. They said I looked like Snow White because my skin was pale and my hair was dark and it was like in a bob. I need 7 dwarfs, 1 for each day of the week. But they can't all have different, like I can't have a bashful. I guess the bashful one wouldn't give me a bath or a shower. And who's the one who's angry all the time? Grumpy. Yeah, me and Grumpy would really get along the past couple of days. We could just complain about everything. Happy is the one I'd probably want to smack around right now because I'm just not feeling happy. But he'd be the one to wake me up in the morning. Good morning, Jen. I'd be like, Grumpy, where are you? Where was I? Sidetracks. Swelling. Oh, the Alloderm. So the Alloderm attaches to your skin, adheres to your skin, and it adheres to the implant and makes everything stay together. Because like back in the day, people's implants could like slip down and end up like past where it's supposed to be. With Alloderm, it doesn't happen. And they all rave about what a great product Alloderm is. So I trust in them. I mean, they're actually, I found out they're the #1 research hospital in the country. So I'm in the right hands, I'm in the right place. And that over time, that area will get soft. Right now it feels hard and firm, not hard, but firm and solid. But it will get soft and it will feel like a regular boob. So not to even go there right now and to understand that all that I'm feeling right now, like when I touch, it's really all swelling. So even if I'm trying to make that like skin to skin contact, I'm not making the skin to skin contact with like the implant because there's so much swelling, in between. And I think what I need to do that I'm not doing enough of, is taking time. I did this like twice and it's been like 3 weeks. I need to take more time where I'm just like sitting in bed and it's going to be hard, but I need to do it. And just putting my hand, like I'm okay with my skin here. Like, this is my skin. Well, it's all my skin. But I can feel this. Like, there's no, like, this is fine. You could tell I'm a little bit sunburnt from when I was walking outside. They're like, yeah, don't get sunburnt. They're like, buy crew neck shirts. And I'm like, I can't get a crew neck shirt over my head. So I have to find some shirts that are going to work that way. But shirts that I can wear walking that aren't going to be like open like this where I'm going to get sunburned. Because that's the last thing that I need is to get sunburned. Anyway, but to have time that I put in, which really should be at the end of the day for me, that way I could just conk out when I'm done like crying about it, to just like touch my breasts in a way so that the skin at least becomes less foreign to me. It's my own skin, but I can't feel it because the nerve endings aren't there. And I've said a million times, I had a, yesterday I was messaging with someone, with a guy, and like it reminded me that, you know, yes, I used to be all sexy and stuff, but I don't feel that way right now at all. But part of that is the exploration of yourself. And like right now, even touching up here, you know, like it doesn't feel normal. But if I do it enough, it will start to feel normal. And again, it's like having a baby. You know, if you don't connect with your baby in the beginning, that skin to skin contact is so important because you realize that they're part of you. You created it. I didn't create these, and I think that's what I'm having a hard time. Well, part of what I'm having a hard time with. Anyway, I have to put that while I'm in my timeout and taking it easy. Is put that in as a structure for me to have that skin time to just start to touch. Because I am damn determined that even though you know it's not possible to have feeling in your nipples, I am going to do whatever I can do to make those, you know, nerve connections happen. Even if it's psychosomatic, I don't care. I truly believe that I can get feeling there again. And that needs to start with me, like, just touching. Because even now, like, I touch here. It's like my boob should not, well, here's where my finger is. Like, my boob should not start that high up, but that's where I feel it's starting to pop up. And I know it's swelling, but still. I need to just be able to, not manipulate, but just lightly touch. Just to make that connection that, like, this part of my body is still me. And I consider it as being very separate right now. So where I am right now, obviously taking it easy. I don't want to get stiff. They said I can still go for a walk. But the 20-minute walk that I did, that I was like, woohoo! Not a wise idea. You know, I've got 36 steps to walk up and down, which I'm fine with the steps at this point. But like, take a 10-minute walk and be done. I don't need to walk 20 minutes. And then like make myself meals. I'm not cooking them. They don't want me to cook, which is fine. Like even for breakfast, I'm not cooking anything major. I don't want to eat a lot of fast food, but there are Grubhub places that I could order from that are healthier than others. But like I have like radishes in my fridge that I'd love to just like cut up and dip. And with the pandemic, you know, it gets more complicated because you don't want to have 25 people in your space doing stuff. She did say that too. Like, I know people want to come in and help me. And originally I said, can someone come help me do laundry? Can someone come help me do dishes? But as school has started a couple of days ago, the emails are coming in every day. You know, our one building, the first day or the second day, whatever it was, last week, there were, I think, 2 cases in 2 different schools. There was one at the high school yesterday. Just got an email. There's one at the grades 4 through, or 3 through 5 school, whatever. So now I think every school in our town has positive COVID cases. In our high school, the percentage of kids that are vaccinated is very high because they're all over 12 pretty much. So if you're in high school, you can get vaccinated. Um, so the percentage, at least for my son's grade, last I remember, it was almost 70%, I think. Could have been higher. But they told me, you are immunocompromised, which was really hard to hear. And they're like, you can't see a whole bunch of different people. So, we want to keep you sane, but you have to be smart. It's still the pandemic. Because school is back in session, numbers are starting to go up. And you need to know that you're immunocompromised. But I said to them, I don't want to be stupid, but it would make me feel a ton better. It's not even so much about my son. It would make me feel a ton better to go to his football game on tomorrow. He's in marching band, like I said, and he plays snare. So, he's got a pretty key role in the marching band. And he sounds good. It's cool. I was in marching band. I don't call them geeks. I was a marching band member extraordinaire when I was in high school. I played jazz flute when I was in college. I'm looking at my Wii drum set over there, from Wii Rock Band. I love music in every shape and form. Maybe not opera so much, but anyway. I love hearing them play. And granted, it's their first game and they might not be great, but I just love hearing them. I love watching the color guard. I love the cadence. I just love the energy. There's no other experience like it, truly. And the majority of people that I've kept in touch with from high school myself are all band people. Either marching band, concert band, whatever. I can't say enough about, music in our schools. I really can't. And part of it will be about normalcy. That, it is normal for me to go and watch at the football game. But I'm asking I already asked a friend if she could take me. Because I think of the walk from the parking lot to the stands. And I think of me getting to the stands and having to take the ramp and walking really slow and hoping that there's no kids around me that accidentally bump into me. Oh, and having a seat to sit on, a cushion, because my butt will hurt. And the fact that I have this cool chair that snaps on underneath it and it gives you nice back support, but I can't put it on. And I can't carry it either because it's more than 5 pounds. She said too, she's like, have you been carrying 10 pounds? And I'm like, no, they told me to cut down to 5. And she's like, good, because don't carry more than 5 pounds. That chair, I'm sure, is 5 pounds and I can't carry it. But I don't mind asking for help. Marching band, those parents are like family. I've known many of them for a long time. And I know they will be there to help me. And as much as I love them all, if they're watching, if I don't talk to you and ask you to get away from me, it is nothing personal. I do not want germs around me. The person that's taking me is going to be my person. And once I'm in those stands, I'm not getting up. I'll stand up. I'm not moving away from my seat. That's it. I'm also going to sit at the top of the bleachers so I can look down and not have to twist to look at anything. I have this all planned out. But she said to me, she's like, you have to make sure that Friday during the day, you don't do anything. You get ready to go to this by not doing anything Friday during the day. And Saturday, the day after, you need to take it easy and rest. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm super thirsty. I've been talking for a long time. But I always feel better after I share. And my Google clock goes off. And also because my meds have all kicked in by now. So someone's supposed to be dropping off dinner, but I don't think it's for another hour. And I don't know what I'm going to do right now, but I'm not going to do much of anything. So just FYI, I am a week behind. It is what it is, but I wanted to explain that to you for the pieces of, what's going on. And I'm getting my roots done on Monday. I don't know what that's going to look like. I'm grateful that somebody offered to do that for me. It's not a matter of vanity. It's like I don't feel good if I have like white streaks here. Um, and then I have my appointment with the oncologist next week. And the woman who used to do my hair back in New York, she knows my hair really well. She just ordered me 2 hats, like fashionable hats, not like baseball caps or anything. So I don't have to worry about my hair. I can look, like, have it back in a hat and just look cute and walk out the door and have that be it. So I'm really happy about that. So taking it easy. You might see me in this pose for the next couple of vlogs. And if I'm not, then yell at me and tell me to go friggin' lay down. All right. Grateful. I am very grateful I have a remote for this tripod because I don't have to move after I shut this off. I'm just going to still keep sitting here. I'm grateful for whoever invented the material that's part of, that makes up the what are these called? Squishmallows. Here's Tex. Not even something I asked for, but I have used this frickin' burrito, for so long, for so many things. And even though they're not, because it's the closest thing to me, even though they're not environmentally friendly, I am grateful for individual bottles of water. Because if I had like a regular glass of water, it would be spilling all over the place. And at least now I can put a cap on it, whatever. I will make sure I recycle this so it becomes something else nice. But that's the extent that I can reach for what I'm thankful for. And there's plenty of other things too, but that's all I can come up with for now. All right, let's see what tomorrow brings, everyone. Oh, tomorrow brings a football game. I'm not vlogging from there. I'll figure it out. All right. Toodaloo. I remember I have to reconnect the Bluetooth when I talk too long. Bye, everyone.